Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me once a week. I'm obsessed with constant and never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe now so you don't miss a thing. Hi, guys. Welcome to the 8th episode of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. I hope this finds you all healthy and safe, and I hope that you're caring for your mental health as much as you're caring for your physical health. We're all confined to our homes, and both of those are super important right now. I have to admit, my workouts are not exactly the way they were when I'm able to go to the gym, but I'm giving myself grace for that, and I'm trying to offset and adapt by adding in a little more outdoor time, like walking, way more than I normally do. Now, we're all having to adapt in one way or another. For me, I'm also making sure to continue eating healthy 80% of the time because I have found that fat is way harder to lose than it is to gain. So I've decided to just not gain it. That holds true during quarantine, right? So speaking of adapting, how can we look at this time right now and not freak out? We just heard that we're going to be quarantined for at least another month. So how do we not get completely derailed from the good habits that we've created? How can we adapt to our current reality, and how are things going to evolve? Now, we have to think long term and know that some of these changes, they're going to stick. Now, obviously, I think gyms will open back up, restaurants will be bustling again, offices will go back to work, and retailers will be back in business. Eventually, this will be a story we tell our grandkids. So, what is that story for you? What's it going to look like? Will you say, I had been dreaming for a long time to make a career change because I wasn't happy, and the shutdown gave me just the push I needed to make that change? Will you be able to say, I learned a new skill, or I learned a new language? Will you say, I was able to adapt quickly to the changes by getting creative, which helped me get promoted? I have a quick story for you. My little sister is a medical device rep, and her job requires her to visit hospitals regularly. Now, that quickly became impossible due to the restrictions right out of the gate, really. However, she still had to connect with her clients, so she came up with what I thought was an awesome way to still do that. She adapted by creating quirky, fun, encouraging videos for the doctors and the nurses, which is just what they needed, and they'll never forget that. Can you imagine what a nice break that is for them? What can you do to set yourself apart right now? What can you do to make yourself and your family better? Here are 3 things to ask yourself when making decisions during this crisis. Number 1, is this serving me and my family? Number 2, is this making the situation better? And number 3, what can I do to make this better? Through everything we're all dealing with right now, it's so helpful to remember that tough workouts strengthen the body, tough problems strengthen the mind, and tough times strengthen the spirit. I think we're all feeling that right now. That was a quote that I read on Twitter. I follow a guy named Ed Lattimore, and he puts out such good stuff. So no matter what you're working on right now, whether it's losing weight, starting a business, raising children, or just simply dealing with this crisis, what is the story you're going to be able to tell? Think about that and work backwards from it. Here are some possibilities for you. You could say, I created fun new ways to get my exercise in every day. I learned how to cook healthy meals and started a new tradition of healthy eating for my family. I started my online business. I was promoted because of my ability to adapt. These are just a few ideas of what is possible. You never know who's watching, and you never know who you're inspiring. So keep moving forward, and if you get off track, then dust off and get right back on that track and keep going. I say this as much for myself as I do for all of you. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this podcast and it's inspired you to be better. I love you all. Have a great evening, and I will talk to you on Wednesday.